nice to hear your voice.
Nice to hear your. Yes. So, likewise is what I was trying to say. But then I got really excited and thought, oh, you must be mostly hearing lovely Italian voices.
This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to Midlifing.
It's true, although we've just had a merenda, like I don't know how to, like I guess a snack, with some friends, and we bumped into some friends of theirs who, the woman is an American, her partner is a French-Italian, and her mother was in town. So anyway, so there was quite a lot of English, funny mixture, but yes, mostly Italian, it's true. Last night, funny story, there was a meeting of the condominium. So
how exciting!
People who own. I mean, technically, as you know, I'm not that person, but I went along because I thought, solidarity. And wow, 3 hours. And maybe this makes perfect sense to you, but a lot of Italian. They were all speaking Italian for some strange reason, and also the volume and heat of disagreement was extraordinary. And in England, does that happen in those? I don't imagine it does, but maybe it is quite, because I imagine there's a lot of opinions, a lot of desires, a lot of needs, etc. I'm curious.
I don't know, because I've never lived in a condominium in the UK. I don't think I've never been in that. Is that true? No, I did. What this might have been before your time. When
1966.
No, I meant when we met you in Northampton. We already lived in the house by then, didn't we?
Yes, you did.
Okay, right.
Yep.
Before we moved into that house, we had a little.
It had like 7 floors. That house, if I remember correctly, and 12 dogs. It was basically like Cruella de Vil, and it was 101 Dalmatians.
It was 2 Dalmatians, and it was 4 floors.
See, I'm 99 Dalmatians off, and only 3 floors out.
Yeah, there was a moment where, as we were looking to move to Devon, Bob said, "This time, can we make sure that we buy a house that has a number of floors that we will actually use?"
Yes, I do remember. I only went to your house a couple of times, and the first time I remember, well, certainly because there's so many British houses, a very narrow corridor when you enter, and and there was of course dogs, so there was no room to kind of go anywhere. And I remember being shown around, maybe, and just being discombobulated by the number of floors
and houses.
Yeah,
floors and rooms. Yeah, it was a lot. But you were so voluble. Has nothing on it, it seems, at your meeting. Voluble.
It was amazing. It was at the end. One of the people came. One of the people there came up to us, and it was sort of, maybe we were sort of a small group of about 5 at that point, and so. The room there was about 20 there in total, but just a little subgroup at the end. And he said, "So, well, how was that?" And I said it was a cultural lesson because it was incredible. It was, because I've never been in that kind of thing anyway. But it was hard to imagine that such kind of excess of feeling and repetition, but then maybe it is like that in condominium, in a shared, in a body corporate. I don't know what you call them in England.
It's definitely like that in Portugal. I will happily attest to the fact that it goes on for several hours.
And have you been? Have you been?
Oh yes.
And how much do you understand?
Probably about 60%.
That's pretty good.
Well, in the sense that I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know the context, you know the
I know the
agenda.
context. I know well, not in the sense there's never a published agenda, but I know what we're talking about. As in, now we're talking about keys. Now we're talking about lighting. Now we're talking about the stairs. Now we're talking about paint. So I can follow that, and there are lots of contextual clues. Oh, Elder doesn't like this because he's shouting and waving his fingers. Got it.
And have you ever said a word other than hello, goodbye?
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess
I'd
I
say
guess
things
you have to
like,
vote, do
yeah,
you?
yes, have to vote. And I spend a lot of time saying, claro, claro.
As in clear.
Yeah, as in, yeah, I understand. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got it. I've got it. I've got it.
Yeah, I say that. I say that all the time,
so
even when I know it's not.
yeah,
And when they
I
know
said
it's
it.
not.
I said it to the guy who was delivering something from DPD today, and I don't know if you're aware that on DPD the little app tells you a little potted biography of the person who's delivering things to your home.
I mean, I totally want a tangent on the word potted, but yes, it's yes, I did not know that, but good to know.
Well, it also says, like, underneath the biography, it says country of origin. Now, I don't know if this was because somebody clicks a button and chooses to put that on, or if it is a mandatory field. I'm not sure. But his country of origin was Portugal. So I was just leaving the house as he came in, and I went, "But Dad, Alex," and he was like, and you could see him doing that thing where his brain was like, "Why is this random English guy saying good afternoon in Portuguese?" And then he said, "Do you speak Portuguese?" And I went, "Claro, claro, sí. Eu falo muito português." And he went, "Really?" I was like, "No, you falo pouco português. É muito difícil, desculpa." And then we laughed. And then he said, "Why do you speak Portuguese and Portuguese?" And I explained that my parents, blah, 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 blah. Anyway,
Yeah.
he was born in Lisbon, lived in Caparica, Costa de Caparica, which is just across the river.
And here he was in Devon.
Here he was. Well, I don't know if he's in Devon because he's like from DPD, so he could be. I don't know how far away they have to travel when they're delivering things. I guess he probably works out of the Exeter office. Yes, I think he probably lives in Devon, doesn't he?
Listen, have you got content? Content?
I had two things, but they've been pushed out of my brain because of something that you said. And so I do have a follow-up to something you said a moment ago, which you might not want to pursue. But the question is this. You keep saying, and this is not the first time you've said it, that technically you don't own the house or the flat in Italy.
Yes.
And I understand that your name is not on the deeds.
Well, let's be clear. I didn't get a vote last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
Yeah. Legally, I have nothing to do with this place.
And will that is that something that will transition when you are there fully?
I don't know.
It's just
So when I say technically, I really mean legally.
Yeah, legally. Because I think the thing that was my brain was bumping against was it was almost like you were resisting the urge to own a home, and I was like,
No.
I think you do.
No,
now I understand. It's a literal legality. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Good to have that cleared up, isn't it? No, I'm no resistance. I'm just following the letter of the law.
And the spirit. Look at you. Okay, go ahead with your content because mine's been pushed out of my brain. I did come with full hands.
Thank you really,
Jonathan Burrows?
Is that what he says?
No, he says the opposite, doesn't he?
Does he say come with empty hands?
Something about that, didn't he? You read his stuff.
Who's Jonathan Burrows? If you're listening, Jonathan, that was just a little attempt at humour. And then right now, as you're listening, you can think, yeah, just a little.
Just a little.
So, Echo, this is... Oh, goodness me, that was a little weird slip into Italian. Okay, I've got something to read, but I also think I want to start with a question first. You and I have often talked about the importance and partly maybe the kind of, don't give a shitness about as you get older, but about the capacity to say what you need or want. Mm-hmm. Right. And that there's something, either the inability to do that or the developing ability to do that or the fantastic capacity to say, look, at the moment, I really appreciate this, but I need to do this, whatever that is. And my question is something about the line between that, between being able to say, what one wants, and then sorry about the impersonal, but you know what I mean, and one's responsibility to kind of flex and to be open and maybe even to compromise. Because it strikes me, and I'll read this little thing, but it strikes me that you could get really good at saying what it is that you want at the cost of your responsibility to a group or to another person, or the kind of flexing, as I say. Not flexing as in, look at my muscles.
No, I understand. No. Flexing as in being malleable and open, as you say. Yes, I've got it.
And so can I read the Anthony de Mello?
I'd love you to.
Okay, this is me quoting Anthony. To say no to people, that's wonderful. That's part of waking up. Part of waking up is that you live your life as you see fit. And understand, that is not selfish. The selfish thing is to demand that someone else live their life as you see fit. That's selfish. It is not selfish to live your life as you see fit. The selfishness lies in demanding that someone else live their life to suit your tastes or your pride or your profit or your pleasure. That is truly selfish.
That's very interesting.
Yes, maybe it's not the best thing to read out because it's quite messy. It's,
No, I followed it.
Yeah.
No, I understand. And read beautifully, can I say, by Simon Kennedy Ellis.
Thank you very much. I'd been practicing all day for this moment. Anyway. So I think there's some paradoxes there, and and I know you love a paradox, and so do I. And I'm curious, where is that line for you between the things you want and articulating the things you want and your responsibility to another or to a group or etc.?
It's interesting because it's not a million miles away from being in a condominium, is it?
Very nice little bridging there. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Just call me Monsieur Segway. By the way, you started, then you went, I had a little slip into Italian then. And was the word ecco?
Yeah, exactly.
What's that mean?
Well, it's a strange word because it sort of means, literally it means here. Like you'd say, eccoci qua is like, here we are here.
Got you. Okay.
But echo is also, it's like, look, or so, or it's got
so. I was going to say it's the equivalent of so, because so doesn't really mean very much, does it? Except as a, it's something that I constantly tell writers that I am working with to don't put the word so at the beginning of a sentence because it doesn't function except as a verbal tick.
Exactly, and it's very common to go echo. So, all right. So,
all
right.
So,
all
okay,
right.
got it.
All right. Okay. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Em português, e então.
Once again.
E então. And then.
E então.
E então. And then.
This is, we could just drop into Portuguese lessons, and then this broadcast would take a serious diversion.
People might find it more useful. Okay, I think, but not being taught by me because my Portuguese isn't good to teach anyone. I love myself. Yeah. So, I think that I hear and I understand. And I almost recognise what is being said in the quote.
Yes.
And I think there is truth in it. But I don't know how to untangle the lack of relationality that seems to be implicit in the way that that kind of like, to say no to somebody is to live authentically. I'm paraphrasing.
To say no to people, that's wonderful. That's part of
wonderful.
Waking
Thank
up.
You very much.
That's the language. Yeah.
Okay, so you got the idea to say no is wonderful, but then to expect other people to live the way you want them to, that is selfish.
Yes, the selfish thing
And
is to demand that someone else live their life as you see fit. That's selfish.
it feels that you use the word paradox. And I think there is the paradox at the heart of it, because it positions a binary that you can't, but it's a weird binary where they're both the same sides of the same coin.
Yes.
Like, how do you say no to somebody without expecting them to somewhat alter the way they need
Live
to
their
be?
life.
Yeah, unless you're going to live without relationality. You're not going to be in dialogue with, in relationship with anybody else. So the no, I would have thought, and I would be very interested to hear your perspective, would require a projection of no, not that way, this way. Unless it is just a hard no and there is no further discussion. And then again, that makes me go,
Where's the relationality?
yeah, how do you live with I suppose behind closed doors is how you live that way. So I'm a bit like, ooh, it's interesting, because I'm seduced by the idea of learning how to say no, because I do think there is something wonderful about the idea of no. I love the idea of no being a full sentence. It doesn't require an explanation. This is something that I am utterly incapable of doing.
Yeah. And then there's the selfishness lies in demanding that someone else live their life to suit your tastes or your pride or your profit or your pleasure. So you can say no without demanding something of the other. Is the implication there, right?
It is the implication, and I think and whilst that might work philosophically, I'm not sure
practice.
that it works in practice, because if you say, okay, so would you like to come out for dinner tonight? No. Okay. Do you not want to have dinner with me? Oh, no, I want to have dinner with you. I don't want to have dinner with you tonight. Right. When do you want to have dinner with me? I want to have dinner with you on Thursday. I'm busy Thursday. I suppose I could change my plans on Thursday. Yes, that would be great. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to get past the idea that no. No is either a full stop or it is the beginning of a compromise. And if it's the beginning of a compromise, then you are asking somebody to change their shape to suit you. And hopefully this becomes that you change your shape to suit other people as well. And that's what it should be. That, there's sometimes I can't make it on tonight, but you could rearrange things for Thursday because you've got softer plans than I have, blah, 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 and we do it the other way around.
Yes, there's something inherent in it which I don't think I understand very well, which is, because the example you've just given, which is, of course, is a benign example, or perhaps it's a banal example in the sense that there's, to a certain degree, it's a simple transaction. But in a way, the implicit in this conversation is the extent to which any conversation or any dialogue or any exchange with someone or a group is transactional. And I kind of, when I read it or when I listen to it or see it, I think it's like exploring the possibility of being in a relationship in which it's not transactional. And I don't know, that's where I start to go, I draw a blank at that.
And I think the being in the world that is not transactional is interesting, but you see, I just don't like the word transactional.
Oh, quid-pro-quo is a transaction.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, Yes, you're absolutely right.
Sorry, everyone, for diving back into Latin then, of course, because Lee and I are so deeply, highly educated, we can just slip between languages like that.
No, but the idea of something for that, I get the idea that the literalness of the quid pro quo. But let's go back to the idea of compromise. If you could do this, I could do that. You see, fundamentally, yes, it's transactional, but only if you see life as I don't know, is it a mechanism that can be gamed?
Yes, or lost.
If you do this for me, oh yeah. If you do this for me, I will do that for you.
And so
gosh. And of course, fun, yeah. Is that what we're doing with one another?
Oh, it's pretty nasty. It's a pretty kind of cynical way of looking, but I think there are lots of people who that's how they approach many exchanges.
So I was just in the queue at the post office. It's a Saturday, and the post office was open. I don't know if this is a Christmas thing, but the post office counter is open until 5 o'clock today.
Yeah,
and I was in there at about 2:30, and it took us maybe 25, 30 minutes to queue to get to the
very
post
hard
office
to.
counter.
If anyone's listening in Australia or New Zealand, it's very hard to imagine queuing that long at a post office. But anyway, yes.
Only one person, bearing in mind that in the UK, post offices have been closed left and right. Let's not get into the privatisation of companies that should theoretically be nationalised. Let's not talk about trains. Let's not get into any of that kind of stuff because
or just how well the infrastructure of the United Kingdom is functioning. Let's not talk about that.
But the lack of functionality is because everything's been fucking privatised.
We're not getting into that.
But what about the NHS?
We're not getting into that, Lee Miller. We're not getting into that.
Big chunks of the NHS have been privatised and then they've been professionalised and then we've got all these
Anyway. Stay on track. You can do it.
Okay. I will try really hard. So I was queuing and there was such an overwhelming amount of huffing. And bearing in mind we are less
Was there
than
any
2
tutting?
weeks.
Was there any tutting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some rolling of eyes.
Again, you can't. If you've never lived in the United Kingdom, it's very hard to imagine the huffing and the tutting. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I want people to understand that you might be thinking, oh, is this some kind of Victorian holdover? No. This goes back centuries. William Shakespeare referred to the forced suspiration of windy breath.
Does he really?
He does. He talks about the sighing and the huffing of the forced suspiration of windy breath. And you're like, yep,
windy breath.
I know.
I don't know about you, but he had a way with words, didn't he?
Well, it's because he just made them up. Anyway.
Windy breath was not, yeah.
Oh, well, windy breath's not made up, but probably suspiration is. Anywho, there's lots of huffing, there's lots of tutting, there's lots of eye rolling, there's lots
of Christmas spirit there.
No, and we're less than 2 weeks away from Christmas, so people are sending stuff, and you would expect to queue. And so we got to the front of the queue, and I said to the lone woman behind the counter, only one person on. Yeah. I said, thank you so much for being open on a Saturday. It's so kind of you because I know you used to close at lunchtime and it makes things so much easier that you're open that little bit longer.
Did you say it louder so that people behind you could hear?
Abso-fucking-lutely. It was me at my most performative.
Your most passive-aggressive.
Oh, yeah. And then I was encouraging her to say, what's it been like today? How have people been? Well, it's been really interesting. I started at 8 o'clock this morning. I'll be on until 6 o'clock this evening. I got 20 minutes for lunch and I spent most of the day dealing with grown men speaking to me in ways that they should know better. And I did turn around. She said that. She did. And I turned and looked down the queue like, did you hear that? Did you hear that, everybody? Grown men who should know better. That's you. So I think what I'm trying to get to here is that that's not transactional. I mean, obviously, I was literally engaged in a transaction in the sense that I'm paying her to put boxes in a post thing.
That's educational.
But I think there are lots and lots of interactions that we have in the world that are about kindness, that are about levity, that are about things that are not, because I was getting nothing out of her as a result of spending a moment being kind, and Bob was joining in with me in kindness. We were paying for the service. The service is going to be delivered no matter what. If we're shitty about it to her, it's still going to go in the box.
Well,
same service.
I mean, people in restaurants, they spit in your food. I think there's a little bit of a...
I don't know that very many people in restaurants actually spit in food. Have you worked in...
I completely agree. I think it's just a total, this idea that somehow you shouldn't complain. It's very... Again, it's
well,
not...
I've worked in restaurants, not recently, but I worked in restaurants when I was like probably about 6 or 7 years, from high school all the way through university and beyond, and we dealt with some absolute fucking idiots. And at no point did anybody spit in their food.
I just wanted to have a little side thing, just as a little night last night. Got caught up watching Olivia Colman, actor, her acceptance speeches. Have you ever watched Olivia Colman give an acceptance speech for an award?
I've seen the very famous one where she's wearing the green dress at the Oscars.
All of them. I've never ever seen a human being, so uncensored and unfiltered. Anything that's coming into her mind in a stressful situation, she's just saying it. It's incredible. It's if anyone has not watched Olivia Colman's there's basically a YouTube video of all of her acceptance speeches. They are incredible.
Nothing to add, no notes. 100% agree. Bye.
See ya.